On this month's episode of Out of the Office, Devon joins us from Therapeutic Recreation to talk about the upcoming Valentine's dance, and Alex shares more ideas of things to do at the Brambleton Center to get you ready for Valentine's Day. Welcome to Out of the Office. I'm your host, Em Portner, bringing you ideas for your next Out of the Office adventure. On this month's episode, we're talking about the Valentine's dance and Therapeutic Recreation. I'm joined by Devon Burnette and Alex North from Parks, Recreation, and Tourism. Welcome, guys.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Thanks as always for having me back.
Yeah. So, Devon, can you tell me a little bit about what Therapeutic Recreation is and what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So Therapeutic Recreation is a subdivision of Roanoke County Parks, Recreation, and Tourism. And we aim to provide programs for primarily adults with disability. And then we also serve youth as well through our ACE camp, which runs in the summertime. And then we also love to have some larger scale community-based events, which are usually no age restriction and also include caregivers.
Great. And Valentine's Day is a few weeks away, and it's a good excuse to get out and have fun, buy copious amounts of chocolate. And you're here today to specifically talk about an extra special Valentine's event that the county hosts at Hotel Roanoke every year. So why don't you start with what the Valentine's Day dance is?
All right, so the Valentine's Dance event was created specifically for individuals with disabilities ages 16 plus. A night for them to come out and feel extra special, get all dressed up, have a nice meal. The event takes place at the Hotel Roanoke ballrooms. They get to enjoy a fancy meal. They get to have door prizes. There's a photo booth, and of course they spend the night dancing away. It's truly a remarkable event.
Yeah, and so what's your favorite part about the dance?
For me, it's just being there and the room is filled with joy. Everyone comes out. It's super inclusive. There is so many different ages and abilities. We're really celebrating differences, and it's a moment where you get to look around and feel like, wow, like we're making a difference. People are so happy. We are making memories.
Yeah, and I think I saw online you have you crown a king and queen too.
Yes, we do. We usually kick off the party with crowning our king and queen of hearts.
That's really cute. So what's the history of the dance? How did it start? How has it grown?
Yeah, so a little over probably around 40 years now. It was just a smaller group of 25 or 30 people. They came out as sort of a second chance prom, like maybe they weren't invited or didn't feel welcome at their own prom, so they kind of got a second shot to come out, get fancy, and have a good time. And we've just been rolling with it from there, and where it was a smaller group, now we typically see over 200 people in attendance.
Wow, that's a big group to grow over the years, and I know, especially 40 years ago, you know, you hate to say that like times were different, but like a lot of people didn't have that opportunity and didn't feel comfortable going to their dances if they had a disability and were in like a public education. But hopefully now our schools are a lot more welcoming, but to still have another opportunity to embrace who they are in a setting where they're very welcome is great to see that we're still continuing to do this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And something else I think is really cool is that, you know, this is the biggest event that you guys, you know, put on each year, and it's something that y'all are thinking about all year long, similar to a lot of our other divisions to where they're planning things throughout the year. But, you know, the Valentine's dance is really special, and it's really cool to see Devon and her staff, you know, planning their programs throughout the year. But, you know, this is definitely one that, you know, since my time in the department, it's one of our favorites, you know, for staff as well as the attendees and the community members.
Yeah, so like how you prepare all year for Illuminates, Devon prepares all year for the Valentine dance.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's one of those things to where, you know, it's a cool feeling to when you walk in the Hotel Roanoke, everyone is so happy to be there. And last year's event, I think the photo booth is one of the newer opportunities, and that was a great hit. So it's really cool to see, you know, all the steps that our staff has taken to grow that event for those individuals with disabilities. And it's one of those things when you get on the dance floor, and they got some moves.
They do, for sure.
So you mentioned the photo booth was a new thing from a couple years ago. Do you have anything new this year?
You know, we always try to shake it up a little bit with, you know, the presentation of the decor, you know, how we are presenting like our marketing materials. But honestly, with the dance, we're like somewhat a creature of habit. There's some things that just really work.
Yeah.
The photo booth is really exciting. We do, switch up the background and the jargon that's on it. We do have a DJ returning this year. He has done it the past 3 years, I believe, and he's awesome. He's so good. Hypes him up. And then, of course, we are still doing our door prizes, which are amazing. So the goal is for all of our participants to be able to walk home with some sort of prize. And there's a bunch of different things in there. Most of the materials that our door prizes are made up of are on donation. Mm-hmm. So no one door prize is the same. But we truly want for everyone that attends that is an individual with a disability to walk away with them. So caregivers, not necessarily, but the group, the focus that we're trying to have for that population, we want them to be able to walk away with something. So
yeah, you mentioned a lot of the prizes were donations. Does the Valentine's Day dance get donations from a lot of specific groups, or is it just array of the community that's giving?
Definitely an array of the community. We've been working on a reach of getting it out there to different businesses and individuals who may be interested in supporting it, because it's an awesome event. And sometimes, we do get some publicity each year, but there's a lot of people that have no idea what the service is, what the event is, the purpose of it. So we're really trying to get out there and push what it is. Mm-hmm. We've, gained some support through our online postings and individual postings. Once people realize what we're trying to do, a lot of people want to be behind it. So we're definitely still open to donations or even sponsorships of different portions of the dance. Like today, actually, I'm going to collect some donations for door prizes and even a sponsorship check for our photo booth. So our photo booth is covered by a local business.
That's great. I'm glad that so many businesses are getting involved with this as well, because it really, obviously, the community or the county is doing a lot to help the community, but to also have buy-in from the businesses. Like the more money you have going into it, the better of an experience you can make it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of hands that go into this dance. It is not just me, not just my staff, not just Roanoke County. It truly is a collaborative effort.
Great. And what day is the dance this year?
It is February 10th.
And if my notes are correct, the last day to purchase tickets is January 27th, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you still have some time if you haven't gotten a ticket yet and you're interested in going. But the Valentine's dance is just one part of Therapeutic Recreation. So what else, what other services do you offer?
Yeah, so I talked about that primarily we do adult programming, recreation programs. They are year-round. So we have 4 different seasons of offerings, and we currently are in our winter season. We do still have a few spots available in some programs, but we focus on doing programming in life skills, cultural arts, wellness and fitness, and outdoors and trips. The programs are not only recreation based, but they're very meaningful, therapeutic. We really try to help focus on building skills for our individuals. And honestly, it's just a blast. It's so much fun. So we do that for our adults. We've touched on some of the community-based stuff. We do some larger scales of events in addition to the Valentine's dance, so keep a listen out for those. And then, as I mentioned just briefly before, we run a summer camp. Usually about 8 weeks out of the summer for children with disabilities ages 5 to 21.
Great. So the classes that are going on right now, what classes are you offering?
We have a variety of classes in those 4 different areas. Right now, actually, I just came from our crochet class. It's like finger crochet. Yeah. It's the coolest thing. One of our staff members has kind of like adapted it to make it a little bit simpler for individuals who may struggle with fine motor skills. And honestly, at the end of the day, they're going to get to take home something super cool. Whether, it looks perfect or not, we're really excited for them to be a part of that and to build those skills. So we're running things like that, like our cultural arts programs. And then we also have some fitness programs coming up and additional life skills programs like cooking classes, trips to Greenridge Recreation Center. there's quite a few options.
Yeah, I know. When Anna was on last month, she invited me over to get a tour of the Brambleton Center because I hadn't been over yet. So I had the opportunity to see some of the classrooms down there. And I mean, even your art room was so much fun because there were projects laying around that people were in the process of making. And it was like, you pack a lot of stuff into that room and it's like a great, resource. And like, you could tell that a lot of fun is had in that room.
Yes, it is. There is a ton of fun that is had, and there's, glitter and paint chips and yarn strung about. It honestly tells a story of its own. So,
yeah. Well, is there anything else going on with Therapeutic Recreations, or anything we haven't covered yet that you want people to know about and take home?
I think it's important for folks to know how to register. So for the Valentine's dance specifically. It is community-based, so the individuals that come, they don't have to be pre-assessed, where for some of our other programming, we do require an assessment because we run transportation routes. There's a little, their caregivers are not with them. But for our community-based events, and specifically the Valentine's dance, no pre-assessments required. If you just give us a call, we can get you registered. And then for our other programming, if people are interested in signing themselves up or somebody else with a disability, also give us a call and we'll schedule an assessment. And then in that assessment, talk about what classes are available, what classes would be a good fit, and even in that moment, possibly get them signed up for programs.
And that number, in case folks are wondering, is 540-772-7529, extension 2.
That is correct.
I was going to ask if you knew it off the top of your head, and I should have known that Alex would know the number off the top of his head. I feel like he has every phone number memorized, every website link memorized.
I've got a handful up here.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
It's some say it's a talent. I just think, it's part of my everyday routine.
Yeah, your everyday routine is promoting the programs and events for Park, Rec, and Tourism.
It's a fun time as always, and it's really great, because I'm kind of all over the county throughout the recreation season. So whenever I'm able to go, especially in the summer, see our ACE participants out, whether it's at Brambleton, at the Brambleton Center, or at Green Ridge, recreating. It's really cool to see how they love it just as much as the members, especially at Green Ridge. A lot of the members look forward to the days when you guys go over and walk the track or work out up in the fitness area. And it's really cool to see, everyone as one big community recreating together and, keep it moving. And it's really cool, unique environment to see. So I know the Green Ridge staff, they love all their members, but sometimes a lot of them say they're partial to, whenever TR visits, that's one of their favorite days.
It's a compliment to the great work you're doing.
They're just such a joy. It's so much fun.
Yeah. And when Anna was on last month, she gave us a teaser about some of the Brambleton Center Valentine's Day events that are happening. But Alex, what are some other events happening in the county from Parks, Rec, and Tourism?
Yeah, so if we're going to stay on the Valentine's theme, we'll hit that first. So we have a daddy-daughter winter ball coming up a few weeks after Valentine's, coming up at Brambleton Recreation Center on Saturday, February 22nd. We're going to have dancing, photo booth, DJ, very similar to the TR dance, but on a smaller scale over at Brambleton Rec Center for those individuals. So that's coming back. And then we have a DIY Valentine's wreath program. I checked this morning. There's only 2 spots left. So that'd be cool for if you want to go with some friends or, on a date night. That's coming up on January 30th, a few weeks before. And then we have a Young Chef's Valentine's cooking class for our youth services programmers and those individuals coming up on the 8th. Then we have a paint your own pottery, a mini Valentine's vase. So a lot of those Valentine's programs coming up at Brambleton Rec Center, but we're already looking into spring. We're recording in late January and we're already looking at stuff for March through May. So stay tuned for the next episode where we'll touch on some of those upcoming programs for spring. But I know the Rec Life programs registration begins on Tuesday, February 18th. So just a few weeks away. And then TRS, y'all's registration begins, I believe, in March. So it's one of those things to where we're always looking ahead and planning for what's coming up. And, I can't forget our summer camp registration. That begins for our kids in camp programs, which is our traditional summer camp offerings. And then our Camp Roanoke programs will be available on the same day as Rec Life comes about. So Tuesday, February 18th is a big day for us and as we look forward to spring and summer.
I can't believe you're already thinking about summer. It
No.
is so cold out.
I'm like, there's snow on the ground, Alex.
Well, and that's the thing we've touched on before. It's like we're always thinking at least 2 to 3 months ahead, and the fact that we're looking at in planning our rec life guide and everything, we're in the middle of that right now. You know, you're looking at dates like May, June. It's like, how is that already here? We just got finished with Christmas and we're in the new year, and it's, you know, we're always looking ahead and looking forward. So, looking forward, no pun intended, to all those programs coming up. And if folks want to learn more, they can go to RoanokeCountyParks.com to learn more about our recreation program offerings. Our special event season really kicks off late March, early April. So, you know, if you're looking for some recreation programs, whether that's at Brambleton Recreation Center, Green Ridge Rec Center, or at some of our parks, you can find us online at Roanoke County Parks.
Great. Thank you so much. And then as we're getting to the end of our time today, we're ending with my little challenge as always. Last month, Anna invited me out to Brambleton Center, and she gave me a tour, which was really nice. And I will admit it did kind of give me a flashback to grade school, because it is a renovated elementary school. So there's like, I think you've done a really great job of like retrofitting it to be a community center, but there are certain things where you're like, yes, my elementary school also had these, you know, the little tiled walls and like certain things, but it was really nice to see the basement had recently had some renovation too. So it's really looking nice in there. And then I actually have signed up for a class at the Brambleton Center. I'm doing the lunchtime cycle for the next cycle of classes, which I'm really excited about, because I have not been very active this winter, I have to admit. So I'm excited to do some recreating inside.
That's great. You know, glad you had a good time at Brambleton, and you know, we're looking forward to seeing you for the lunchtime cycle, and looking forward to, you know, hearing how that goes.
Yeah, me too.
Because that's one of our more popular programs. We have the cycle studio, we have our art studio, and we have a lot of different offerings over at Brambleton. So not only you can stop by, but anyone wants to stop by, we're open, you know, 7 days a week. Yeah.
And then I feel like the challenges lately have been episode theme. So what's your theme for what's your challenge for the out of the office activity? It does not have to be Valentine's themed if you don't want to, but what's your suggestion?
I'll let you go first, Devon.
Okay. I won't go Valentine's theme, but I will go on the theme of TR.
Okay.
I guess I'm kind of piggybacking on Anna, which is totally fine because she's got great ideas. I want to challenge you to come to a TR program.
Okay.
To shadow, to engage at whatever level you want to with our folks, but like Alex was talking about, when our participants visit Green Ridge for Fitness Club, like there's a lot of joy to be had and be a part of there. So I'd love for you to be a part of that. I will send you over some options. Fitness Club could definitely be one of them. We have a 6-week run coming up, so you could come any of those days. We've got another art program starting too. The finger crocheting class, we've got another one next week. So I'll shoot over some different options for you. But we'd love to have you. I know the participants would love to meet you. You can talk about some of the things that you do. And then kind of see how we being myself, the staff that work with the participants, how they adapt programs, how it's inclusive, how we're trying to make it more beneficial and therapeutic, and just kind of fostering a cool environment. Yeah. And we would love for you to be a part of that.
I would love to join. And I do know you have an amazing staff. Jordan, one of the people on your staff, she and I actually did our HR orientation the same day.
Oh.
And every time she sees me, she asks how I'm doing. She like tries to catch up, and it's just like, oh, you are such a sweet human being. And to know that she is part of Therapeutic Recreation makes me so happy.
Yeah, we're very, very blessed and fortunate to have a very awesome team.
Yeah. Alex, it sounded like you had something too.
I don't know. I think Devon kind of stole my thunder there, and you know, I'll brainstorm some stuff for coming up in March and April, and we'll go from there. But you know, I think it'd be great. Yeah. You know, as I mentioned before, TR is one of our more unique but gratifying divisions that we have, and it's something that, you know, whenever we can highlight it, we're always looking forward to doing that. And you know, I'm looking forward to going to the TRS dance. So I'm sure if you'd love to come to the dance, I'm sure Devon and them would love to have you there too.
Absolutely.
Great. Thank you. We have a little bonus this month. I joined the If You Know, You Know podcast to talk about the upcoming Adoptable with RCACP and Angels of Assisi. So let's roll a clip.
How did the collaboration come to be? for the first year when RVTV, RCACP, Angels of Assisi came together with this idea for an adoptable. How did that happen?
Well, we kind of talked about it and thought it'd be a fun thing for the residents of the valley to watch something that's local. We all watched the Super Bowl. We all watched the Puppy Bowl. Mm-hmm. So we thought it'd be good to put something together local, and we partnered with RVTV, Angels of CC's, and it just came about. We had a lot of good leaders in there making it happen.
Lisa, what did you think when the idea for something like a Puppy Bowl or the Adoptable came out?
I thought it was awesome, and I thought it was especially awesome when Mike said that they were going to build the set. So I was very appreciative of that, and I have to say that they just knocked it out of the park. When I first saw it, I was like, you got to be kidding me. It was so professional and so well done. So we were really excited last year and this year again.
I agree. I loved last year's event. I am so looking forward to this year's event. And you were kind of there this year. What was it like for you to get involved?
Yeah, it was really exciting because I wasn't here last year, so I had seen the video but hadn't seen any of the behind the scenes. So when we filmed it last week and I was in with like all of these puppies and all of these people putting it together, because it really is a like huge production and takes a lot of people, and it was like hectic in the best way possible because you have all these amazing people and all these amazing puppies, and it was a morning full of love, truly. If you want to hear the full episodes on all things cute and fluffy and get the full story of behind the halftime show, listen to the most recent episode of If You Know, You Know on YouTube. And if you liked this episode, be sure to share it, especially if you know someone who could benefit from Therapeutic Recreation services. And I'll be back next month to help you plan your next out of the office adventure. Happy Valentine's Day.